Hey folks, this is Dave Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I did a video series not too long ago on emergency preparedness that seemed to be well reviewed, but I also did a video series on what do you do when a staff member has gone off? What do you do when a veteran staff member has gone off? Generally, you can spot a veteran a lot faster than you can spot a new staff member. There are certain things that veteran staff members do every day that the people that work with them know when they're on and when they're off. Okay, but I've come up with five key points to look for when any staff member is off, but specifically your veteran staff. Okay, and I'm going to be looking off to my right over here because this is where I've got my notes. So I'm not ignoring the camera. I'm reading off my notes. Okay, number one, they get ill when you move them from their preferred post assignments. Okay, I don't know about any other departments, but in the state of Florida, the captain has autonomy on the 12-hour shifts to put staff members where they are needed to be. I don't know about the 8.5-hour shift model that's coming out, but on the 12-hour shift model that I currently enjoy to work on, we have complete autonomy as captains to put people where we need them to be. Now, of course, we have to obey the guidelines that are out for us with gender specificity and stuff as such as this, but I put who I want where I want them and who I need with who I need them with. And I have a tendency to take my veteran officers, my stronger veteran officers, and put them with the new sergeants so that I have strong staff in there and the sergeant can learn how to step into the role of a supervisor with a very experienced officer. And I also have a tendency to take a new officer and put them with a veteran sergeant. That way that new officer can learn from the experience of the veteran sergeant. And if I have a situation where I have to work somebody out of class, I'm not going to put a rookie in the position of a supervisor. I'm going to put that veteran officer in the position of supervisor so that they can teach that new staff member. Now, if you have somebody that you put them in one dorm every day, you put them in the same dorm every day, the same dorm every day, the same dorm every day, they work that dorm every day, and then all of a sudden you have somebody call out sick, and you have to put them in another dormitory, and this officer gets bent out of shape. They're upset. They're not happy. Why do I get pulled out of my dorm? Why can't somebody else get pulled out of their dorm? That's a red flag, folks. It's an absolute red flag because that officer's got something in that dorm that they want to stay in that dorm for. Okay? That's a red flag. The number two thing that I come up with is they tend to refer to inmates by their name without the title of inmate. As a supervisor, I don't see that. They don't display that behavior in front of me. But when they are amongst their peers, they will refer to the inmate by his name rather than his title and his name. They will call that inmate Jones, Bunkley, Wilson, whatever, without inmate Jones, inmate Bunkley, or inmate Wilson. Shows a sense of familiarity with the inmates, which is a red flag. It's something that we need to look into. That's not normal, okay? That level of familiarity with the inmate population is an officer that is either turned or being turned, okay? Number three that I've come up with is they have a complete shift in their interactions with staff, often not referring to them by their title or rank. that is a big deal. Okay. A lot of the people that I have seen go sideways, they stop referring to me as captain and start referring to me by what everybody called me when I was a sergeant, which is my first two initials, DM. Okay, there's a story behind that. We had 5 D Smiths on the same shift, and one of us you could tell apart real simple because female versus male, but the other 4, there were 4 D Smiths, 4 male D Smiths on the same shift, and I became known as DM. That's one of the few ways that we could tell each other apart on paperwork and on the radio was the initials, and I became DM. Well, now I have noticed with a lot of the staff members, and I'm talking specifically the ones that have either been forced to resign or have been terminated, the title goes away. My title of captain goes away with those people, and they start referring to me as DM. That is a problem. It is absolutely a problem. It is a red flag, and it is something that I look at. Anybody that is watching my videos that works with me, understand that if you start referring to me as DM, you have set up a red flag in my mind, because you no longer are showing the rank the respect. And it's the rank that deserves the respect. I understand. I am DM Smith. I understand that DM Smith, David Smith, whatever, in the words of Simon Sinek, I will always deserve the styrofoam cup. Okay, I get that. My rank, however, commands respect. My position commands respect. And when I stop getting that from a staff member that I have always gotten it from, that's a red flag. Okay? Number 4, they will often call in stating that they're going to be late, or they just show up late. This is a major problem. At shift change, we often have 2 or 3 dedicated staff members at the entry point for contraband interdiction. Okay? Often have 2 to 3 dedicated staff members. That is their job for that 1.5 to 2 hour long period, where we've got shift coming in, admin shift coming in, plainclothes shift coming in, and that is their job, is to make sure that contraband interdiction measures are in place so that we can prevent a dirty staff member from bringing in contraband to the inmates. I'm not going to go into everything that we do, because that kind of, I don't want to let the opponents, i.e. the inmates that have illegal cell phones or what have you, know everything that we're doing so that they can tell their people that they've turned how to avoid them. Yeah, I'm not about putting our playbook out there, but just know that during shift change, we have dedicated staff members at those points. And if you show up after those points no longer have those dedicated staff members, because those dedicated staff members that they have actually have jobs on the compound, and you're dependent on somebody that is busy doing their job to come up and process you into the institution and do the drug interdiction measures that we have in place, they might not give it their all. They might not give it their best. And that sends up a red flag. If you've got somebody routinely showing up late, routinely 15 minutes late, 10 minutes late, after that point is closed, after that point has gone to being staffed by people that are busy doing other things, that is a definite red flag. That is a serious problem. And that is something that is in my mind. Understand, if you are one of those people, I am looking at you. Okay? I am. Last but not least, a complete demeanor shift. They come to work looking less and less like a professional, either not having their uniform completely on point or not having their grooming completely on point. That tells me that an inmate has convinced them that the standards that we are holding them to as a department are too strict. They're too rigid. You need to be free. You need to be free to be yourself. That is a manipulation tactic that inmates will often employ, and I guarantee you, with the exception of a few, every single corrupt staff member that I have ever seen fall to inmate manipulation has started to look less than professional at the end of their career, at the end of their time in the department. Okay? We had one guy, I'm not going to mention any names, not going to mention any jobs, but we had one guy that went that every single day he come to work, and he didn't wear a uniform, he was plain clothes. Every single day he come to work, his hair was perfect. His beard was perfectly trimmed. Shirt was very clean, almost pressed. Jeans, always clean, no holes in them. Pants, whatever he was wearing was always clean, no holes in them. Everything looked right. Towards the end, he had let his hair grow. He had started to not use product in his hair. He had just started to let it hang, if you will. Wrinkled shirts, dirty pants, dirty jeans, dirty shoes. Complete demeanor shift. He had started smoking. Absolute, complete demeanor shift. Sends up red flags. Big time. If you have a staff member that every day they come to work, their uniform has razor creases, their pants are pressed, there is not a single stain, not a single smudge, nothing wrong with their uniform, their brass is polished, their shoes are polished, their hair is perfect, everything is right with this officer, and all of a sudden he starts coming to work, and you can tell he just pulled his shirt out of the dryer and threw it on his back. Doesn't have any wrinkles because he pulled it out of the dryer, but the razor creases aren't there. He might have a smudge or two on his uniform, an ink stain on his uniform. His hair is not always perfect. He's letting his grooming go. That officer is being influenced by an inmate. I guarantee it. That staff member is gone. Folks, part of the inmate manipulation is to separate them from the herd. Okay, when I'm going to go on ahead and use an analogy of lions in the wild. Okay, when the lions are trying to hunt and they're trying to get something that they can eat, they are going to find the weakest thing in the herd and they're going to separate it and attack it with numbers. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so, and I have always maintained, check your feelings at the gate. Don't bring your feelings to work with you. If you got something going on at the house, inmates going to pick up on that stupid quick. They're going to pick up on it real quick. They're going to see you as the weak. They're going to cull you from the herd, and they're going to take you down. They're going to take you down. Okay? If you are having problems at home, folks, I understand. I understand that there's problems that people go through at the house. I've been through them myself. I am by no means a saint. I am by no means in a perfect relationship, in a perfect marriage. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship and a perfect marriage. There's work involved in it. But I leave that here at home. You have to. Because if you go to work and you're bearing that burden on your shoulder every day when you walk to work, and I understand it's hard to leave that at home. I get it. Okay, but if you have that burden on your shoulders while you're walking through the gate at work and you get to your post assignment, the inmates will 100% pick up on that. 100% pick up on that. Okay? They're gonna know, and they're gonna exploit it. Do not think that an inmate is your friend. Do not think that an inmate is your confidant, your comfort system, somebody that you can talk to. That is a manipulation tactic. Okay? The manipulation can be simple. Inmate from Wing 1 of your dormitory calls you over to the flap to engage you in a conversation, while the inmates of Wing 2 are over there plotting to kill a rival gang member that is in the dorm with them. Or they've got an inmate coming in off of the yard and the door has been left propped open, or in some kind of way they've defeated that security system and there's drugs being passed into your dorm, or there's cell phones being passed into your dorm. Folks, you've got to be 100% mentally in the job when you're on the job. Okay? In the Department of Corrections in Florida, we have this thing where we say an officer needs to be 100%. Okay? An officer that is physically compromised might not be able to give 100% in a fight. That is a bad thing. But an officer that is emotionally or mentally compromised is just as dangerous as an officer that is physically compromised. Find a way. Leave the problems at the gate. Don't bring them with you. You need 100% focus on your job while you're at work. It is not a case of where you're going to lose money at the end of the month off of the bottom line. That's not what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with money. We're dealing with lives. You not being 100% when you walk through that gate, mentally, physically, and emotionally, can cost somebody their life. 100% can cost somebody their life. Do not fall into that trap. Leave your problems at home. Okay? Now, to save your marriage, leave your work problems at work. We all have work problems. Anybody that works in corrections understands we have work problems. I understand you're going to take some of that home with you. But if you can, leave that at work. Leave as much of it at work as you can. And there are dedicated professionals. We can access them in Florida through the Employee Assistance Program. There are licensed professionals, licensed counselors out there to help you if you are having issues, to help you. They're not there to help the inmates. They're there to help you. And believe it or not, the leadership at your institution is there to help you too. I have yet to tell an officer I don't have time for you when they come to me with a problem. I might tell them, give me 5 minutes. I got to deal with this crisis over here with this idiot that's doing whatever, blah, 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 blase, blase, ABC, whatever. I'm always going to make time for that staff member. There is never a time I am not going to make time for that staff member. Come to me. If you need help, come to me. I will always make time for you. And I don't know of any captain, major, colonel, sergeant, whatever, that won't make time for you. You need help, you come to somebody. Okay? That's all I got for this video, folks. Like I said, this is a very real thing. It's a very real thing. Not only the captains and above needing to look for this, but the folks that you work with on a daily basis need to look out for this. Because I don't know if you are aware of how strong an individual gets when they are high on K2. And if you've got a staff member bringing that in, they do not have your best interest at heart. I do not know if you know how dangerous a cell phone is inside a facility. If you are one that's if you know somebody that's bringing that stuff in, that inmate can now get to your family. If he's got a cell phone, he can absolutely get to your family. All right? Watch out for these people. Watch out for these 5 warning signs that I just put up, okay? You got somebody that gets mad when they're pulled out of their preferred post. You got somebody that tends to refer to inmates as their name instead of inmate in their name. You have somebody with a complete shift in interactions with shift. They start forgetting to call the captain, and the sergeant. If you have somebody that's constantly calling in that they're going to be late, And if you have a complete demeanor shift in an individual, they have done a complete shift. Pay attention to those people. Let somebody know about those people. They do not have your best interest at heart. And I think Warden Kaloje says it absolutely best when he says, you owe nothing to a dirty staff member. You owe them nothing. They're putting your life in danger. They're not thinking about you. Don't think about them. You owe them nothing. This is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. Folks, if you like the content of this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications when I post new videos. And for the love of God, hit me up in the comments. I want to talk to you. Remember, love shouldn't hurt. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We need to eradicate domestic violence. If you do nothing more to help an individual, then give them the number to the domestic violence hotline. Do that. Do that. The number again is, I'll have to remember what it is and get back to you. I have misplaced the piece of paper that I wrote it on. Maybe I didn't. Hold on. Yeah, I misplaced the piece of paper that I wrote it on. I'll find it again. I think it's 1-800-799-SAFE. Okay. Also, the hotline.org is a place where you can go to receive help. Just remember that your web activity can be tracked. Okay. Love shouldn't hurt. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Folks, stay safe behind those fences. This is David Smith. I'll see you next time.